Jealousy made her do this to her friend. What really happened? Come with me, let's find out together. Hey friends, welcome to another mind-blowing movie from your amazing actors and actresses. I know you don't want to miss out on this wonderful one because it's so educative and full of real-life drama. But before we dive in, why don't you subscribe for more captivating movies from us? The story begins with two young girls and their mother, who were seen being chased out of their late father's house by their father's brother. Even though the woman cried and begged him, he still threw them out. She took them to her friend's house to seek help, crying bitterly while her friend comforted her. Later that day, Ijeoma was seen at the backyard crying when her friend came to console her. Back inside the house, Ijeoma and her friend Chika were seen chatting. Even though Chika decided she would take care of them, Ijeoma still insisted that she should borrow her some money to start a small business to care for her children. 2 days later, Ijeoma set out to hawk her pure water business while her children headed to school. That day, while hawking, a car knocked her down. She cried in pain, and later at home, her children helped her massage her injury. The next day, they were all outside, helping their mother massage her leg while chatting. The following day, Ijeoma was already selling her akara and bread along the street when a lady came to buy from her but didn't pay that day. Immediately after she left, Azin and Grace arrived back from school that afternoon because they had been chased out over unpaid fees. Ijeoma felt bad, encouraged them, and gave them bread and akara to eat. Weeks later, Grace and Azini were seen hawking. Afterwards, they began playing as they ran together. A few years later, Azini was chasing Grace, now both grown young ladies, but still playful with each other. One day, they went out to hawk bananas for their mother. The following day, while Ijeoma was at her business place, Azin and Grace came to assist her. She later went to pee, leaving them there. Some guys came pretending to buy bananas but suddenly left in a hurry, not knowing they had stolen their mother's bag. When they noticed it was missing, disaster struck. But here's the twist. Was this the first sign of betrayal? Or was something darker coming? A week later, Grace and Azine came home with their jam results, which were excellent. Ijeoma was so excited that she rushed to show her friend. Back at home, Chika was happy for them, but was annoyed with her own son. The next day, Ijeoma and Chika were at the market while Ijeoma chatted with her daughter over the phone. Years later, Grace and Azini returned from university as graduates. Their mother was overjoyed. 5 years later, Ijeoma took her friend Chika to the new house her children bought for her, leaving Chika in shock. The following day, Azin arrived in Lagos at her sister's house, and they happily chatted and welcomed each other. The next day, Azine and Grace went to their mother's house ahead of her birthday, bringing expensive gifts. Ijeoma was overjoyed and called her friend to join the celebration. Moments later, Chika arrived and was amazed at what she saw. While their mother went inside to bring something, Azine and Grace discussed their surprise birthday party plan for her, also inviting Chika to come to Lagos with her son. The following day, Chika and her son landed in Lagos. She was stunned by the big mansion she saw. After some misbehavior from her son, they went inside to see the beautiful decoration. Then, both Grace and Azine, along with their blindfolded mother, came downstairs as everyone sang happy birthday for her. They all had so much fun. Back at Chika's house, she kept talking about what she saw, scolding her son for never being serious in life, and for even stealing 2 bottles of drink from the party, which made her ashamed. The next morning, Ijeoma was seen thanking her children for putting a smile on her face. A few days later, Grace and Azin began ignoring their mother's calls to avoid her constant requests for money. The following day, they both went to the village and bought several expensive gifts for Chika, including an iPhone. During their visit, Chika asked Azine about her relationship life. The answer shocked both Azine and Grace. They discovered that their mother was the reason no man ever stayed in their lives. Azine, upset, went straight to confront her mother. She called her all sorts of names, leaving Ijeoma shocked and heartbroken before walking away. That same day, Chika visited Ijeoma to console her and assured her she would help talk to the girls. The next day, Azin and Grace were at Chika's house, already calling their mom. While Azin went to the kitchen, Chika used the opportunity to talk to Grace about her boyfriend in Canada, telling her not to have anything to do with him. She then began spreading lies and encouraged Grace to consider her own son, Emeka, claiming he was a good man who would love her. Grace was speechless and a little confused. 2 months later, Grace, Chika, and Emeka were at Grace's apartment having lunch when Azin arrived, excited to see Chika. As they all ate, Emeka suddenly brought out a ring and proposed to Grace. The next morning, Emeka woke Grace and told her to prepare breakfast, demanding swallow. Grace told him it was too early for such heavy food, but after some back and forth, she went to make him something else. Still, he complained, making her prepare yet another meal. That same day, Azini was with Grace, chatting, while their mother, who was seriously sick, kept calling them, but they ignored her calls. That day, Ajioma called Chika to let her know she was sick. Chika told her she would come with food. A few hours later, Chika arrived at Ajioma's house, encouraged her, and offered her Gary to drink. Ajioma asked her to help call the doctor, and Chika assured her she would. After waiting for hours and the doctor still hadn't shown up, Ajioma called Chika again, and she still insisted he was coming. Eventually, Ijeoma decided to call the doctor herself. Moments later, the doctor arrived and was surprised by her condition. Ijeoma explained she would pay him later, which shocked him because her children were known to be rich. She then opened up to him about what had been happening. The doctor, in turn, revealed things he had seen going on between Chika's son and her daughters. This left Ijeoma stunned. The next day, Chika came to visit Ijeoma and was surprised to see her on her feet again. Ijeoma told her she now knew what she was doing with her daughters. This caused Chika to explode with insults before leaving in anger. The following day, Emeka was doing a live video when Grace came downstairs to go to work. He stopped her and told her to prepare breakfast. That afternoon, Grace returned from work to find Emeka still on his video. She ignored him and went upstairs. The next day, Emeka talked to Grace about a business plan that would cost 50 million naira. Frustrated, Grace raised her voice at him, and in anger, Emeka slapped her. Shocked, Grace ran off in tears while Emeka continued yelling. Grace called Chika to tell her what Emeka had done, but Chika assured her she would speak to him. Soon after, Emeka came in and threatened her again. Back at her house, Ijeoma was seen shedding tears as she prayed to God. The next day, Emeka's mother came to Grace's house and called him out to apologize. She then tried to convince Grace to give him the money. Grace agreed, but refused to give such a large amount. Later that day, Emeka rushed to his mother to share the good news that Grace had sent the money. They both began celebrating with excitement. The next day, Emeka spoke to Grace about their wedding preparations, but still demanded more money and told her he would be going to the village to arrange some things. 2 days later, Emeka arrived in the village. The children praised him as he threw money to them. Chika then came out to see him and chased the children away so she could have her son to herself. While they went inside, she hurried to get ready for a wedding and assured him that on her way back, she would talk to his uncle about the upcoming wedding. Thereafter, she left. Grace and Azin were seen lying on the bed, having a discussion. Back in the village, it was already late at night when Emeka began complaining of heat, and there was no light. However, when he went to the room, he found a candle tied with a red cloth. Ignorantly, he lit it. Meanwhile, when Chika returned home, she was shocked to see that it was the candle she had kept that Emeka was burning. But what could be so special about that candle? Come with me, let's find out. Back in Lagos, Grace received a call from Emeka, telling her that his mother had been screaming all day and that both Grace and Azin needed to come to the village. They were both surprised. The next morning, in the village, Chika and her son were seen on the floor, displaying madness. She began confessing everything she had done out of jealousy toward Grace and Azin. Everyone was shocked, Grace, Azin, and their mother, who were all present. She confessed how she went to a native doctor for charms to make Grace and Azin hate their mother and love her instead. Honestly, friends, that was so cruel. What do you think? Thereafter, she and her son continued displaying madness in the village. As for Azin and Grace, they went back to their mother, and they all lived peacefully ever after. The moral lesson of this movie is, Jealousy and wickedness will always be exposed, no matter how long it takes. Love your friends sincerely, because betrayal only destroys lives and relationships. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and of course, comment your thoughts about this movie in the comment section. And please subscribe for more amazing movies from us. Till we meet again, bye.